Imagine that you're working like 120 hours a week and you get paid only $2. And even medical doctor in North Korea doesn't get paid $1 in a month. Hi guys! Welcome to my channel. My name is Yeonmi Park and I'm a North Korean defector human rights activist. So guys, in my previous video, I talked about where you can find the most beautiful women in North Korea. And one of the places was actually gas stations, where in the place in North Korea, nobody can have a private property. Therefore, the car is owned by the state. And when you're a driver in North Korea, that is a very prestigious job. And therefore, these gas stations competing with each other and trying to get these drivers to come and add the gas. So they would hire these beautiful young girls, and they are the ones who cleans the car and add the gas. And I found there's another place you can find the most beautiful women in North Korea. That is, I don't think a lot of people know about this place. It's called the Kaesong Industrial Complex. So Kaesong, this industrial complex, was set by a special economic zone between South and North Korea. They were trying to bring an effort to do the cultural exchange, economic exchange, and they set up this special economic zone called the Kaesong complex. And in this, they have the factories. So basically, South Korea provides the capital, technology, and all other things. And North Korea, they provide a laborer. So they would hire at some years 30 to 50,000 North Koreans to work there. In this Kaesong Industrial Complex, this is a whole drama begins. This is the very first time North Koreans are exposed to South Koreans. So like myself, when I was in North Korea, I never seen the side of South Korean. And they would tell us that South Koreans are starving, they have been colonized by Americans, they're getting raped. I mean, it's a horrible capitalist society. So North Korea regime had to really be smart, because that is for the first time the brainwashing, that propaganda was cracking down. So even in this moment of truth, the regime was doing everything they could to hide and what was going on to the North Korean people. So there are many stories of but also really heartbreaking stories of these women trying to go work at this Kaesong complex. In this factory, you have to have a good family backgrounds, and then all these beautiful women compete to go to work in that factory. So South Korea basically would give one person their salary, month salary is $120, which means you work all week, just Sundays you don't work, but Monday through Saturday, and you work like in 14 hours a day. And when you work in the factory, South Korean company give you $120, and the North Korean regime would take $113, and in that remaining $7, they give you only $2, and with the $5, they say we are gonna give you some rice and the cooking oil, with the amount of $5. So you get $120, but what ends up in your hand is only $2, and regime takes all of the remaining fund. This is still the only golden opportunity for North Koreans, because even medical doctor in North Korea doesn't get paid $1 in a month. So getting paid for $2 for entire month salary is unheard of for North Koreans. It's not like North Koreans are lazy, they don't work. There's just no opportunity for them. The government eliminated entire opportunity for people to prosper. So people even working in this factory, manual labor and just hard daunting labor, they're dying to find any job that would put a food on their table. So there are many stories, and I think I want to share just 3 stories with you today. So first story is about choco pie. So while they are working in this factory, South Korean companies felt bad, so they would provide some snack for these people. So they would give this one choco pie to each worker a day. then these choco pies, the regime would be so afraid that this choco pie gonna get out of this factory and then sipping into North Korean public. So they would make sure that nobody takes the choco pie out. But some women would literally hide them under their bra or like in their clothes. And when they go home, they sometimes sell it in the black market, or they put in this one choco pie soak in an entire bowl. So North Koreans usually not exposed to very oily food, that we don't know even how to observe those like fatty food. And this choco pie can sometimes they put in the soaking in the water, and then 4 people in the family eating, dividing that, and it becomes their entire meal. And sometimes they save this choco pie and then trade it with rice and other grains. So getting this one choco pie a day gave these North Koreans unbelievable incentive for the population that is utterly like impoverished. Second one is in these factories they usually make a lot of like clothing and fabrics. So for South Korean companies, if there's like some errors happening with their products, they just get rid of them. They just would throw away. But in North Korea, it's so poor that we don't waste anything. We don't throw anything away. So these women would like wear all those, the worked like errored clothes and in them. But of course, officials gonna make sure they don't take it away. Then women again put those little fabrics under their bras. And the funny thing is, men was really complaining that they have not much place to hide them and to go out. And the last one, this is very interesting. So this is, as I said, only place as a North Korean you get to meet South Koreans or the outside people from the other countries. And here, even when people say there is no border for love, but there is in North Korea because international marriages are banned. And when North Korean women work in these factories, some of them do fall in love with a man from the South. And even though they are same Koreans, they still cannot get married because North Korean regime doesn't allow it. And in here, of course, they cannot really talk to each other. But sometimes this man knows how much they are suffering. They would like hide, one candy in their sleeve and give it to them, and give them, some kind of snack or some kind of anything that would help them economically. And the regime eventually made sure that all those single women don't go work in this factory, because a lot of them fell in love with the men in the South, and they would eventually escape to China, then to South Korea. And regime was like realized, oh wow, we cannot really let this happen. So they were changing the mandatory to work in the factory is now usually men with the kids and older. But in the first decade at least, that's where you could find the most beautiful women from North Korea go there working in this factory. Another benefit of working in this factory was South Korea would provide them lunch. And this is another just so heartbreaking thing. The regime said, oh, we don't want you to provide the rice, just bring the side dishes. Because when Kim Il-sung took over, he promised to North Korean people that I will, as a communist leader in this country, we are going to make sure that you eat white rice and with a soup. And they did not want to lose that one little embarrassment. So they told South Koreans, you cannot feed these workers rice. Just bring the side dishes. And then they were demanding the workers bring their own like bento box with rice. Even in this factory, there's international eyes watching. The regime still continue to abuse North Koreans and take their rights away, their labor away, their worth away. And this factory, this industrial complex actually shut down 2 years ago by Kim Yo-jong, the Kim Jong-un's sister, because they just really do whatever they want. So they literally blew up the entire complex where they had a communication office was. And now this factory shut down, but this was a huge opportunity for North Koreans who were starving, who did not know what was going on. And that's when they started realizing that actually South Koreans are not corrupt capitalist monsters. They were actually really nice people. And I'm so thankful for South Koreans who were working in those factories, did everything they could to provide the snacks and helping these workers despite the regime's cracking down. This video I really hope helped you, that I know during this pandemic and people like, even in America, I sometimes like, oh, we work so long, but the thing is, it's, nothing is free in this world. We have to work. And imagine that you're working like 120 hours a week and you get paid $2 a day, and even that job is not coming easily for North Koreans, and that is the most desired job for North Korean men and women. And see how much opportunity that we have here, and for thinking about that we live in a paradise. This is what we have in this country, so precious. I hope that this video helped you to understand a bit more about what our world looks like, what others go through to live this life. And thank you guys for supporting me. Please hit that like button and join my Patreon and lockers, guys. I love you very much, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.